everyone. If you have been to my channel before, welcome back. And if it's your first time, I'm glad you are here and welcome to you as well. In one of my previous videos, we learned how to extract audio features for deep learning using Librosa. Specifically, what we did was we took our raw audio, which was in a .wav format. We converted that raw audio to a frequency domain and we got a spectrogram. Then we converted that spectrogram to a MEL scale and we got a MEL spectrogram. Finally, we took the log of that MEL spectrogram and we got a log MEL spectrogram. So we went from the raw audio to a spectrogram, to a MEL spectrogram, finally to a log MEL spectrogram. If you want to understand how we did all that, I would suggest you watch my previous video, to which I will post the link below. In this video, I wanted to focus specifically on the display function we have in Librosa. So I ran into an issue where I was using the display function incorrectly, and what that was causing was it was displaying the wrong time. What I mean by that is, as you can see here, so if I load my raw audio, which is called h_1.wav, and I load that raw audio with a sampling rate of 32,000, then I use the librosa.display and give it my signal and try to display that. What I get is a raw audio. The problem was this raw audio is showing that it is 8.5 seconds long, whereas the original audio that I had, h_1, was only 6 seconds long. So that was the issue. And I had the same issue with the MEL spectrograms and the spectrograms as well. So the issue was that when I was using the display function of Librosa, I was only giving it the Y. I was not specifying any sampling rate, even though the sampling rate that I specified while loading the signal was 32,000. So if we just ask Librosa to display the signal without specifying any sampling rate, it is going to use the default sampling rate that Librosa has, which is 22,000 Hertz. So that's what's causing this problem. So the key is, if we use a different sampling rate than the default sampling rate in Librosa to load a signal, then we must also specify the same sampling rate when we use a display function. Okay, actually I have it right here. So if we try to use the correct one, so if we if we specify the sampling rate and see what we get, let's look at the result. And here we go. So we got the correct output. So now we are getting a signal which is of the same length as the original signal. So that was the fix for the waveforms. Now let's come to the spectrograms. So for the spectrograms, let's create a spectrogram for that signal. And then let's try to display that spectrogram. So originally we will just give it the spectrogram that we calculated in the previous step, and we don't specify any sampling rate and try to run it. What we get is a length time of 14 seconds, which is again wrong because the original signal was only 6 seconds long. So let's now specify the sampling rate just like we did for the waveform. And when we do that, let's see what we get. Here we got 9 seconds, which is again wrong because the original signal was 6 seconds long. So with the display function for these spectrograms, there is another parameter we have to keep in mind, and that is the hop length. So what hop length is? So when we create the spectrogram using librosa.stft, and when we create that spectrogram from the original signal Y, we specified several parameters. And one of the parameters that we specified was the hop length. Now, if you want to understand what this parameter is, I suggest you watch my previous videos or search online. So, but this is a key parameter. And when I created the spectrogram, I specified my hop length to be 320, which is different than the default hop length that Librosa has, which I think is 512. So if you don't specify any hop length, it's going to use 512. But in this case, I specified 320 as a hop length. So that's what my function STFD is using to create a spectrogram. So when I display the spectrogram, I also need to specify the hop length. So let's specify the hop length. And this hop length should be the same that we used to create the spectrogram in the first place. Now let's run it. And here we go. So now we got the right length, which is expected was 6 seconds, and we got 6 seconds. So these are the two things to keep in mind. So for the waveform, we need to specify the sampling rate if we are using a sampling rate different than the default sampling rate in Librosa. And for the spectrograms, not only we have to specify the sampling rate, we also have to specify the hop length that we used to create the spectrogram. So this is how we correctly use the Librosa display function. That's all for this video. If you find the content on this channel useful, I suggest you subscribe, and I would be happy to have you part of my channel. And this is the end of this video, and see you in the next one. Thank you.